Hello, Internet, and welcome to Saturday Night's Apocalypse. Thanks for joining us here on this lovely Sunday or Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, whatever day it might be for you out there. I am the DM, MC, GM, Disaster Child Sean. I'm going to be running this game here today for my lovely players, who we have everyone here this week. Super excited for that. We will get started here in a second. If you saw our pregame stuff with all of our shows and you want to know what times the shows are going, just look below our faces. That's all here on Twitch. Join us for our next broadcast after this one. It will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern time. That'll be Slang 101. Time travel is what we're doing in that game right now. So come check it out. But yeah, with all of that being said, I think we're just going to go ahead and jump right in unless there's anything. Oh, wait, Savannah, you probably want to announce your thing.
Yeah. I have an off-schedule announcement this week on Wednesday. I don't know what day that is. July 29th. This week on Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have a one-shot here on the channel. I'm going to be running another great Grant Howlett one-page RPG for Sean, and our friends Graybeard's Tavern, and Greek Sid are going to be there as well, and we're going to play Goat Crashers. It's a game where everybody's a goat and they're trying to crash a party because they want to party, but the only parties are human parties, and that's what we're going to do.
Oh my god.
That's the premise of the game, so we're going to hang out on Wednesday night and play Goat Crashers. Come hang out, 8 o'clock. It's going to be awesome.
All came about from a very stupid joke that I made during Neon Souls yesterday for Rock'em Sock'em Love'em, which is a one-page RPG that I'm going to be working on now over the next 2 weeks, with where former retired BattleBots attempt to find love in a reality dating show.
And also fight each other.
And so Savannah was yesterday. Like, let's run another game since there's no way you can get that done by Wednesday. And so yeah,
we're also gonna play Goat Crashers. So come hang out, see me and Sean, GB and Sid, and they're gonna be goats. And I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be good.
Yeah. So
that's my announcement. Goat Crashers.
Join us for that on Wednesday.
Get it? Because it's like Gate Crashers, but they're goats. Okay.
Get it. All right, let me do a recap and we'll jump right back in because we got lots of drama, lots of things to do today. So last time on Saturday Night's Apocalypse, your crew had finally left the town of Red Larch. You had completed your jobs there, had helped Harbuck, the law of the town, make the town a bit safer. You routed out the Believers, a group of stone worshipping higher ups, elders within the town that had been killing people and doing bad things for rocks. You were given a truck, which I forgot what we named the truck. I want to say that you guys haven't named it. Harbuck called it Darla or something.
Bessie.
Colloquial. Bessie.
In Roll20, it's Trucky McTruckface.
Roll20, it is Trucky McTruckface.
Yeah. You said we could call it whatever we want, and so I called it whatever we want.
You called it whatever we want. We'll workshop these names. But for now, you and your trusty Trucky McTruckface made the trek to Belliard, one of the members of your crew missing, as Vivian had mysteriously disappeared during the evening, leaving behind a cryptic note that she would catch up later. You traveled north following some quest leads that you had been given to track down a missing delegation that had been traveling through the valley from Mirabar on its way to Summit Hall. You traveled north to the Stone Bridge, this large ancient dwarven construction spanning the gap of this one singular river that runs its way through the valley on a route to Belliard. It was there that you encountered a vehicle that was broken down on the side of the road, and you caught a glimpse of someone being well, detained in the back seat of this car. You, being the helpful, nosy individuals that you are, decided to stop. You attempted to use a little bit of subterfuge to approach the vehicle. You saw that they were, in fact, keeping a Aasimar young man pinned down in the back of the car while the others were trying to wave you on. You subsequently attacked, killing 2 of them, allowing the third to escape, rescuing this Aasimar man named Liko. They gave you their moniker. You got to know Liko a bit more. Julie actually made art for Liko, which I don't know is actually on the screen right now, but I'm sure Savannah will show it in a second. I'll do this show to players so that pops up for you guys. So very good art. I'm very excited to see what terrible things you guys do to this NPC that I love so dearly now. You traveled to Belliard with Liko, who told you that they were traveling to Summit Hall as well, or had been. They had received a quest or a sort of a vision from a voice in their head to go to Summit Hall to help the people there who are also followers of Tyr. Liko had been told to help find this delegation and was backtracking the route that the delegation had taken when they met up with you and were almost kidnapped by these cultists. You decided to go to Belliard with Liko. You spoke to the innkeep, Nesher, who, oh dear God. Did G just do that? I hate you so much. All right, we just got an NPC name. I'll have to deal with that in a second. So the you traveled to Belliard, spoke with the innkeep Nesher there, who told you that the delegation had passed through a few weeks prior, making their way to Summit Hall, and that one of the farmers or herders that works out of the town had seen some strange flying figures in the direction that the delegation had gone. You trekked over there and you found the spot where this delegation was ambushed. You found some bodies buried there, belonging to some bugbears and one figure wearing a golden mask, as well as a bunch of other bodies and the vehicles belonging to the delegation. And from there, you crested over the hilltops where you saw a monastery off in the distance, kind of nestled between some large rock crevices, kind of hidden and tucked away in this valley. On the other side of a river, where at the river itself you see a small ferry with a little bit of torchlight down there, as well as the sun is beginning to set. But what I'd like to start out with today, before we get back to you guys, we're going to backtrack just slightly to Vivian. You wake in the middle of the night, a few days prior. You are still in the Swinging Sword in Red Larch, and you hear a bit of shifting in the small room, coming from your backpack.
I guess I jump out of bed and I check my backpack, checking for my special item.
You open it up and you see in there nestled this large, about soccer ball sized egg that is nestled within this backpack of yours, and it is sort of moving slightly, like rocking from side to side. Something inside of it stirring.
So, assuming that Vivian recognizes what's probably happening here, I think she's going to take the egg, and she's probably take all of her stuff, actually, write up that note, and dash out of the Swinging Sword.
And in the middle of the night, you write your note that will be discovered by Jazz the following morning, and go darting out of the Swinging Sword and out of town. What sort of place are you looking for? Is there a specific location you've been told to go to when this is happening, or are you just kind of following the whims of fate here?
I'd probably be looking for like any sort of body of water. If there's nothing that I can find, then I would probably just try to find somewhere kind of like secluded.
Okay. You would know, traveling through the waste here, that there is not a lot of water in the surrounding area, but you do remember upon traveling here, there was a small sort of reservoir of like rainwater that had been collecting a few miles south of town, kind of southeast of town, and you remember seeing that and kind of begin to head in that direction. It's not fresh water, but it's probably the best you'll be able to do. You travel that way eventually. After about 20 or 30 minutes of some brisk walking or jogging, you arrive at this collected sort of reservoir at the base of these foothills, and you head down to the shore of it, pulling this egg out of your bag as it is beginning to sort of this shifting inside of it. You're actually beginning to see these cracks begin to form around the shell of this egg. So you take it down to the water. You're like placing it in the water.
Yeah.
Okay. As you place the egg in the water, the shifting kind of grows a little bit more violent, and finally there is a full crack that begins to form along the surface of the egg, and this turquoise light begins to spill out from the egg itself. And as you hold it in the water, there's suddenly this flash of brilliant light as you see something rupture from the side of it, and this glow spreads throughout the pool. As it does, the shells of the egg kind of, you look away for a second, and your eyes being kind of blinded from this bright light in this early morning hour, and you look down, and just the broken pieces of the shell kind of float along the surface of the water, and there's just this moment of stillness. I should probably do a little more, something less peppy. We'll do that. As there's this stillness to the pool, the light dwindling, and you just see this kind of ripple move along the surface. And this voice speaks out into your directly into your mind, in this primordial language, and it says, "I have returned. I am reborn. I am... Shit. Why am I so tiny? What happened? What?
You were in an
Where am I?
egg for a long time.
Where is this? This isn't the mighty seas that I remember. Where am I? Tell me before I smite you."
We're in the Desert Valley right now. You were asleep for a really long time, but the world kind of fell apart.
And you see the ripples kind of coalesce to a spot, and you watch as a single sort of greenish blue tentacle kind of pulls out of the water, and then rising up from the spot, you see this tiny, about foot long little squid-like creature, this baby kraken, rise up from the pool, one sort of gleaming, menacing red eye staring out at you, and it says, "The Deseret Valley. I do not know this name of which you speak. How long has it been since I was banished?"
A lot of people don't know who you are nowadays. It's been a while. But I know who you are. I've been carrying you with me for a really long time.
You're You're the one who has been carrying me. I remember a name. Vivian.
Yeah,
It was
yeah. That's
your. It was you that drew me to this place. The ritual. I'm remembering now. Well, what went wrong? I was supposed to. Why was I brought back so soon?
I think that we thought you were ready when you weren't. I don't think you have all your power back yet, but I'm sure you'll grow up to be really big and strong again.
Centuries of waiting. I don't want to go through that again. We need to find. He sort of pauses. This place. He sort of darts around the pool, very quickly swimming to one side, sort of pops up again on the other side. There's something here in the valley. A source. Yes, something I can use, something that I can accelerate the process. I can return to my full power faster. Sort of darts back under the water, swimming back up to you and coming up, kind of rising up and staring at you again. You must help me.
Okay. Where do you want to go?
North and east from here. I sense a great power, a great draw from the elemental plane, from my home plane. I can draw from that, and I can... Well, that should be enough. You must take me there, or I will destroy you.
I just kind of like stare at this tiny creature for a little bit. Is he still in the water, or is he out now?
Yes, he's
Okay.
still in the water.
Can I reach down and try to scoop him up?
Yeah, you can. He's very tiny. And yeah, you just sort of grab him. He says, wait, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Let me go. And the like tentacles are like flopping around in the air, flailing, kind of grabbing onto your arm, but he's very weak.
I want to put him in my hair.
Okay. You place him on your head as
Like
the
my water hair.
Yeah, as the water of your hair sort of flows around and stuff and sort of like intertwines. So this is weird. This is very weird. But familiar. You're of the plane of water, aren't you?
Yeah.
I can work with this. Fine. Here's my arrangement then. I am very weakened now, but I can bequeath upon you some of my powers that I have maintained. And for this purpose, you shall transport me to the place that I seek and help me restore my former power. And for this, I will not destroy you once I am reborn.
That's why I'm here, boss. So north?
Yes, that way. It sort of points a tentacle emerges from your hair and points in the direction that he wants to go.
We go north.
North we shall go for the rebirth of the mighty Sean Thereth. And begins to lead you north. The rest of you, we will go ahead and cut back to another day or so later. Why did that song not repeat? You are now standing in the sort of evening hours, looking down. You see the monastery across the hillside from you, and you see this ferry beneath you down the path that leads down from this cliff face. And you have followed the trail of like the drag marks, the carnage from the ambush to this spot. What would you like to do?
Any of us be aware of a ferry that operates here normally, like commercially, or?
No. So there are lots of people that make a living that just helping people across the river. The river spans about 50 or 60 feet. It would be difficult to ford with any sort of vehicles or anything like that. So rather than having to go all the way north to like the Stone Bridge or down to some of the towns along the river to the south, there are some people that make a living just operating some that go across in various spots. So it's not uncommon. this doesn't seem like the most ideal place for a ferry, but it's a living.
And there are signs of like camp lights, campfires up and down the cliff.
No, just at the base of the cliff, where the ferry is currently dotted. And when I say ferry, I mean it's basically like patchwork scrap metal and wood that have been patched together to form like a base to shuttle people across with.
And the lights are on our side or the monastery side?
Your side, where the boat is currently docked.
Well, it would appear that this is where we have tracked our quarry to.
Are we going?
Benny's just gonna walk ahead.
Okay. You walk
Creepy
ahead.
if all of us just stand up here and watch them from afar and be like,
I think
They're all down there panicking as they see these darkly silhouetted figures atop the cliff.
I think Shellac is very excited about the monastery and is doing his best not to completely just go nuts and run forward into it.
Okay. You all begin to make your way down the cliff, headed by Fang and Shellac. The other four of you following along behind. And as you reach the bottom, you see some movement. There's like a small tent that has been set up down there outside of this, beside this fire, and two figures. One emerges from the tent. The other one was sitting by the fire. Seems to have got the attention of their companion. It's two women. They have like this dense black braided hair. These like almost like these nets that kind of holding it down. And one of them carrying like a spear. Kind of approaches cautiously, holds up a hand, and she says, "You looking to cross?"
Indeed we are.
Right. I'm afraid that well, the current's a little rough right now, so we aren't taking people across here. You're probably going to need to go north to the bridge or down south.
How far is it?
If you go north to the bridge to Belliard, that's about 20 miles or so. If you head south, it's going to be a bit longer.
Do you have an idea of when the currents might change?
Hard to tell.
Okay.
I do not know that we are in such a rush as we cannot wait until the currents change.
Right. Well, like I said, could be a while. If you're gonna hang out, you're probably gonna want to find a place to camp out for the evening. The spot's taken.
Are you not the operators of the ferry, or
No, we are.
this specific spot?
This spot,
Stick.
yes.
Looking around, there are other camps, tents and stuff set up?
No, it's just them
Ah,
here, and there's plenty of space. Also, who's proficient in nature?
Probably our druid.
I am too.
Okay. Those of you can make a nature check.
$20?
Okay.
I also got a 20.
Oh, nice, both of you. And this makes sense with Thea, with your knowledge of the water and no, with your just sort of general experience with nature, you're looking at the current and the flow of it. It's not, doesn't look that strong. It actually is pretty sort of tame today. It hasn't really rained recently. There's no real reason why you shouldn't be able to cross right now.
Hey, why are you lying?
I'm not.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it. You see that? It's like barely moving.
Really calm.
They look amongst themselves, and she crossed her arms. She was loud. She's like, I've been working these rivers for 10 years now, and you're gonna tell me that I don't know when they're safe to cross.
I just go like this because I have gills.
Well, then swim.
Why are you being a jerk about the boat?
I'm not.
Why won't you take us?
Like I said, river's too strong.
We've established you're
Can't
lying
go.
or very bad at boats.
I think it's very bad at boats.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other explanation.
The other one sort of steps out and places a hand on this this sword that she has on her hip, which you can see is actually made of bone, and it has like these jagged sort of teeth on it. She says, this one steps up and says, "No, we're not gonna have a problem now, are we?"
He's gonna slightly step forward and rest his hand on his hilt of his sword, which is probably larger than them.
Oh my gosh.
You
Not
tell
this
me.
again. Listen,
They lied to you, Thea.
I know you can't kill people just because they lie.
Don't kill them. I'm hurt.
I want to say Shellac has gotten kind of close to the water and is just kind of staring at it, and it's like, I think it's fine.
Why aren't you taking people across?
They look to each other, and the one that's talking says, "Fine, fine."
Get better at lying or get better at boats. I don't know.
We don't feel
That's
super
me.
comfortable going.
Oh, wait. How did you know?
That was so bad. That was so bad.
I don't think so.
Now I'm gonna say that every time, and
And I'm going to say,
Anyway.
that's me. How did you know?
the woman who you've been speaking with says, "All right, well, we've just had some difficulty with trying to get. There have been some attacks up and down the river. We don't feel as safe going across right now, but if we take you in smaller groups, might be fine. We just can't take all of you at once."
Is that true?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be safer in a large group?
Have you ever been on a boat before?
I mean,
No.
I guess it
People.
depends on what's attacking.
I think
This thing's
Shellac has
Yeah,
never
good
been
point.
on a boat.
This thing isn't equipped to take this many people at one time.
I can
wouldn't
float
feel
in the
safe.
water. You can just tie a rope around me and just drag me along. It's
He
fine.
likes that.
I can breathe underwater, or I can hold my breath for a long time.
Do the attacks come from the water or from the shoreline?
From the water.
Oh, that's fine. I have a big shell. I don't know if you can tell. It has a bunch of spikes on it. I'll be okay.
All right.
So what's attacking?
Don't know really. We've been smart. Haven't tussled with it.
I mean, is it like... Does it have fins? Does it have tentacles?
Listen, do you wanna go
Does it
across
have
or
lots of
not? I'm not looking-
eyes?
For a conversation right now.
Well, if you weren't looking for a conversation, you shouldn't have spent 10 minutes lying to me. We could have been done already.
If you would like, I can go under the water and check to see what it is.
That sounds dangerous. I want to go.
I mean, I can just go in the water if someone wants to tie me off.
No. We should just go on the boat.
This one of those drafts where it's just like pull across the line and then back.
Yeah. Yeah.
People who
Then we
do
just-
stabs should go first.
Can we just use your boat, go out there, kill the thing, come back, pick it up, and all go? Or we just go?
Fine. Fine. You go, do
Which
your
option?
thing, and
We can use your
And we'll-
boat?
yeah. Yeah, you can use the boat. You can go across. We're just not going to risk our hides for you.
Okay,
Gonna
that's
look
fine.
at the rest of the party, be like, is that good?
I mean, we gotta go unless you want to go all the way back up to Belliard and go across the bridge.
I'm not walking 20 miles.
No, we'd drive, but then we'd have to walk all the way back.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we'll bump into the guy which ran out of the car.
I forgot about that guy. Boat trip.
Boat trip.
Boat trip.
All right.
So
Pay
I
up
just pull
first.
this rope here and
Yeah.
whoa,
What do you mean? What do you
we're
mean?
not even
pay?
paying for a service.
Yeah.
Well, you're paying to
I'm
use our
having-
boat.
No, you said we could borrow it. It's not
Yeah.
borrowing.
You
We're
didn't say we
do
could
your
rent
thing.
it.
You said do your thing. That is I'm doing my thing and
Wait, do you not understand how this works? We maintain this.
Oh my gosh!
You never
what do you
said
want?
that.
How much is the stupid boat?
There's 6
What do
of
you
us
got?
and 2 of them there.
No, I'm not. No.
You
I got
kill
more
whatever
numbers
creature
than you.
is attacking your ferry and preventing you from doing business. Is that not payment enough?
Yeah.
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 Where
And
we're
if we fail to
reopening.
kill the creature, we are dead. And we won't be able to pay you anyway.
I can just sit underwater with my jaw open until something goes by and I snap at it.
It's probably bigger than you, Shelly.
I
That's
think it's
fine.
fish.
They look to each other and just look super frustrated with this whole situation. She just says, "All right, fine. If you kill the thing, then
We
we'll
get the
consider
boat.
that payment. If you don't, then you're not coming back across."
No, if we don't, we're probably dead.
You want to tie a rope to your boat so if we die you can pull it back, or you just want to leave it in the middle of the river?
Points to the rope that's already tied to it. Says, "Got it."
Okay, I'll cut that rope just in case we die. Gotcha.
Boat trip.
Boat trip. Does your boat have a name?
Bodie McBoatface.
That's just like our truck.
Yeah, it's kind of like a truck.
Except it's a boat, not a truck. Oh,
All right.
Maybe they're
So the
related.
6 of you load up onto the ferry.
Before getting on, Jazz is going to take the drift globe and just start walking into the water.
Oh, gosh.
Pirates of the Caribbean style.
Hey, be
'cause
careful.
I don't need to breathe.
Hey, be
Just
careful.
Okay.
If the drift globe floats up, assume I have been consumed.
Okay.
Uh, you
I'll swim.
You are welcome to join me.
No, I don't want to get eaten.
I want to say Shellac goes in as well, just as kind of a pair of eyes.
okay?
I mean, he can hold his breath for an hour, so
see, look, now we got space for you two. Hop on board. Okay.
Good here.
Oh wait, I forgot I might be able to talk to it. Hang on.
Boy.
Can
Well,
adopt it and they can be
We'll
friends.
see. Has to be a beast that has an innate swimming speed.
Okay. Which most things underwater do.
What are
that's
most
so
things
specific.
beasts?
Except for the 2 things currently underwater which we know of.
Gotta be a beastie.
So Jazz goes walking down with the drift globe. Shellac going with him. Thea, you're going as well.
Yeah, I'll go swim.
Okay. While Fang, that just leaves Fang and Niona up top,
And Liko,
and Liko.
isn't he
Yeah,
with us?
yeah, Liko's with you still.
I'm gonna
So
let Shellac know that if Thea dies, he becomes actual soup. And this is not a joke. This is a dead straight look in your face. Like, she dies, you die.
I
That's
just,
not nice.
I think Shellac is like, I guess let's just float down the river then.
As the three of them begin to go underwater, Liko kind of leans to you, Fang, and says, "Is this normally how things go?"
With Theo walking off somewhere else, yes. It's nice
Fair.
to have someone to threaten with death, though. I don't normally get to do that anymore these days.
Right. Just like takes a step away from you, just to be safe. So the three of you load up onto the boat, while the other two or the other three head underneath the water. And you see the two women, the boat or the ferry operators, kind of talking to themselves, and one of them kind of goes like shrugs and rolls their eyes, and the other one seems to be convincing them of something, and then they turn and say, "All right, fine. All right, if they're gonna take care of the thing, then we'll cross with you. It's gonna just be easier this way. Not that we don't trust you, but you just cut the line on the other side, and then we're left without our boat." The two of them climb on with you. So the three people up top with the two ferry operators and three underneath. And you begin to sort of pull yourselves across like that, while the others are walking across the bottom or swimming. As you reach about the halfway point, those of you that are underwater, you can see the ferry kind of crossing above you, going maybe a little bit faster. Go to make perception checks.
That's
16.
11.
All right,
18.
16, 11,
Got a
18.
6.
Okay. 6. So the those of you underwater looking around, it's very murky down here. The water is not clear. The drift globe helps a little bit, but not enough to really see any like significant distance. However, with the 16 and what was the next highest one?
18.
18. The two of you see a little bit of like a dark figure moving off in the distance, like just outside of the light. Something pretty large.
Can I speak underwater? This is a separate question. I know I don't have to breathe. I don't know if it says anything specifically about being able to speak underwater.
You, unless you have something specifically for it, I don't think you can.
Yeah, it's just, it's not like I'm... Normally you think it's because, you're inhaling the water and stuff, but...
Yeah, because you don't have the ability to breathe water. You just have the ability to... You just don't need to breathe. Right. Okay.
I do
so
have the ability to breathe water.
Yeah, which is what my metric is for people that can speak underwater. If you can breathe underwater, you can speak under it. Plus, you can speak aqua and stuff, and specifically to things that can swim. So, do you say anything, Theo?
Yeah. It's a really big fish.
I think Shell, or not, I'm not Shellac.
You're not.
Jazz would point with the spear and just kind of track the creature.
Okay. And Shellac, you definitely can't speak because you're holding your breath right now.
Yeah, I can't speak, but I know Aquan.
Yeah. You can
So I
understand.
can hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. You see the creature. Are you trying to communicate with the creature? Is what I'm asking, Thea.
I'll try.
Okay. What do you say?
Let's see. I'm looking at my ability. It says using gestures and sounds you can communicate simple ideas.
Okay.
Such as, hello, friend.
Okay.
Please don't eat me.
Make an animal handling check.
Uh-oh. Well, 12?
12. You try to communicate with it, and The creature is moving kind of slowly, kind of around the periphery, and then you see it kind of come into the shadow of the light. And what you see is a large crocodile swimming just outside of your periphery, and that darts off into the shadows. And as you catch the gleam of its vision, I'm just gonna of its eye. That is probably not enough. You then, Jazz and, or I guess probably all three of you, you feel a current move behind you, and a second one comes charging up with its jaws wide open. So let's go ahead and roll initiative. And Vivian, you roll initiative too. Because you are the crocodile. No, I'm just kidding.
Friendship was the crocodile all along.
It's much better than roll 20.
So glad that was used on just getting me on the turtle.
For a second, I thought those ladies were riding the crocodiles or something, but those are the fairy ladies.
Those are the fairy ladies. Ferry.
We don't know that. Maybe they're
I
both.
guess you don't know. Maybe both. Okay, you guys. Let's see. Put the tracker up. I'm gonna roll for the crocodiles. Roll for the fairy operators. All right.
Don't forget our new friend.
I'm rolling for Liko. I got him.
Yeah, I
He's
just
okay
said
with you.
his name.
Rolled a natural 1. Liko's rolled very bad so far. Okay. That will put everybody on the tracker. Get some music going. Get crocodile fighting music. And Thea, it is your turn.
Oh, jeez. Scary music. I guess I'm going to stab a crocodile.
Okay. We haven't had to do the underwater combat rules for
No.
a while. You've got... what weapon are you using?
I have a rapier. Yeah.
Okay. So...
Oh, no, wait. I'm going to
Richard.
use Greg.
All right. You have a swimming speed, so you are good.
Greg
don't
is
get
a short
disadvantage.
sword. I don't have disadvantage? Great.
You don't
Because I can
disadvantage.
swim.
Also, it's a short sword, so you wouldn't have disadvantage anyway.
Okay, yeah.
But
Okay, Greg. Ooh, that's good. 24 to hit.
24 hits.
Okay. Do I get sneak attack?
Not on
in-
this one, because nobody else has positioned them within melee of the crocodile.
Okay. I rolled a 1. 6
All right.
slashing
6
damage
points.
and
Oh, yeah. I forgot I gave you the-
crocodile doubles in weight.
Okay.
Does that make it harder for them to swim?
Yep, it will. Their speed is going to be reduced.
Oh yeah. By 5 feet.
Yeah. All right. So you slash the crocodile, and as you do, send the crocodile's like, poof, like sinks in the water a little bit. Looks very confused.
I would too.
Doesn't understand what just happened.
Okay.
As it's weighted down and kind of pressing up against the sand, the silt bed of the river. All right.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to disengage
Okay.
and swim up to the top.
Swim up to the top. Okay.
Yeah.
Suddenly Thea emerges on top of the water. You guys all see her come bursting out.
It's crocodiles.
So That is Thea's turn. Fang, it is your turn.
Can we see the crocodiles?
You can see the light. So yeah, I'd say you can see the crocodiles underneath because they're kind of illuminated. They're obscured, but
Okay. I can hold my breath for 2 minutes. Fang's gonna smile and jump in,
all right.
swinging his sword down at this thing. Probably at disadvantage because. Let's swing at
Yeah,
the slow
you don't have
one.
a swing. You don't have a swim speed, and you're using a.
I have a full speed.
Yeah, you do. No, you're gonna be at disadvantage.
Okay, so that is 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
Yay. I can throw. Okay, that's so much better. 12 slashing damage.
All right.
And I'm right next to this thing.
Oh,
Showing
the
my sharp
crocodiles.
pointy teeth as well.
What was the total damage again?
12.
12. Okay. Ooh, that crocodile's very, very hurt. You slash across the same one that Thea hit, as it's kind of weighted across and much easier to target. And Fang just comes descending down into your vision, those of you that are underwater. Nyona.
I haven't done like underwater combat ever. How would it work if I didn't jump into the water but tried to shoot an arrow at one of them?
I would, for an arrow, let's see. I would say it's a disadvantage.
Okay. Because I don't really have any good spells for a situation like this right now. But I think
Makes sense.
I can do. It's an 11.
That will miss.
That's her. She's just on the boat.
All right. Jazz.
Okay. Yeah, I am going to. So I assume I can't do any spells that require a verbal component, correct?
Do... You're saying it. It's just not being transmitted super well. I'll allow it.
I'm
Okay.
imagining Jazz's voice is like a speaker that's been dunked underwater.
Yeah. If you were holding your breath, I would say it'd be something different. Like Shellac would have a hard time casting. He might lose his ability to hold his breath underwater. You can do it though.
Okay. Then in that case, I will cast Frostbite at the. Try and cast it at the one that hasn't been stabbed yet.
Hasn't been stabbed. Okay.
Yeah. So con save, please.
Con save. It's a 6.
That fails. So it's going to take some cold damage and have disadvantage on the next. It says weapon attack roll it makes. I assume
Yeah.
it's teeth of weapons. Well, takes 1 cold damage.
1 point of cold damage, but as the ice begins to form over it underwater, and it's moving kind of a little bit. Its movements are hindered by that, so that one will have disadvantage on its next attack. All right, is that it for you, Jazz?
Yes, for now. Gonna keep trying to just continue on towards the other shore for now.
All right, Vivian. You find yourself with your you've walked through most of the night. You are down the river, and suddenly you hear some shouting coming from around the bend, and you come running around. There's these large rock walls kind of obscuring your view, like a canyon. You come around the edge, and you see a ferry boat halfway across the river with some familiar people on top of it, and some not familiar people as well. A lot of splashing in the water. You see Thea emerge and yell out something about crocodiles, and you have reunited with your friends. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna help them and shoot a crocodile. Of course.
Okay. You come running up the river. Those of you that are on the surface can see Vivian running in your direction. And what's the range on? What are you going to shoot him with? Eldritch Blast?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the range on Eldritch Blast is pretty far.
120.
Yeah. They are. You're still going to be at disadvantage because they are underwater, but you can make your attacks.
What if I dive into the water?
That's a good question. Is your swim speed faster than your walking speed, or is it the same?
I think it's equal. I have a swim speed of 3.
Okay. Yeah, you dive under the water and is your natural habitat. Yeah, okay. From there, and consider you have a swim speed, I will say that negates the disadvantage.
Oh, okay. Well, before I go diving in, I'm going to wave frantically and be like, "Hi, I'm back!" And then I just dive into the water.
Yeah.
Okay, I will go ahead and shoot one of the crocodiles, whichever one is closest to me, I guess.
Okay.
And I will also summon a tentacle as a bonus action after this shot to attack it as well.
Okay.
Okay, so the Eldritch Blast is going to be a 23 to hit.
23. Yep, that'll hit.
The tentacle was only an 11 though.
That'll miss.
Okay, cool. So for the Eldritch Blast, that's going to be 6 force damage.
Okay. We'll say that's against the one that hasn't been hurt that bad yet. So cool. 6 points of force damage as it blasts into one of the crocodiles. There's this burst of light that you see just come out of nowhere, Jazz and Shellac, and it hits one of the crocodiles. All right. Sorry, to answer your question. That is Vivian's turn. Sean is in your hair right now, and kind of just asks very confused way, telepathy in your mind. It's like, who are these people and why are we helping them? Why are we doing this? And as you're going forward and start blasting people, and that will end Vivian's turn. Shellac.
Okay, so there's a turtle there's an alligator right behind us, right?
There are you have 2 crocodiles on you right now.
Okay. And there's okay. I think the best thing that I can do is probably cast Radiant Sunbolt, but I'm wanting to know how is that going to work underwater?
You do it. It's you don't have a swim speed. We already established, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll just be at. No, well, they are melee. No, you don't have swim speed. It'll be disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna try that.
Okay.
Well, that is an 8.
That one misses.
And we'll try it one more time.
Okay. This is your offhand attack? Your bonus action attack?
Yeah.
Because I think you can only do the one as a bonus action if you spend a key point.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a punch.
Yeah, I'll spend the key point.
Okay. So you can actually make one more attack then with because that's a flurry of blows, I think.
Yes. Yes.
So you spend an action to do a flurry of blows, and you're going to do those as your sun strikes too. So make one more attack. The 18 will hit.
And then a 9 misses.
Okay. A 9. So roll damage for the one that hit.
It's going to be 6.
All right. 6 points of damage. All right. The other crocodile hammered with one of these sun bolts. The radiant damage flashing underwater. along with the Eldritch Blast. They're both really rough right now. That will end Shellack's turn. It's going to be the Crocodile's turn. The crocodile that was nearly murdered by Fang will turn around and bite at you, Fang.
Knowing it's
That'll
going
be-
to reduce how much I can hold my breath, I'm going to say bring it. So it's just blub, blub, blub.
All right. You lose a minute. That will be a natural 1, though. So it misses you. Just the jaws just biting at the air, frantically trying to get you. The other one is going to bite. We got Fang, we got Shellac. This one's going to be the one at disadvantage. I think it goes for Shellac because he is he's sending out sun bolts. Very distracting. So disadvantage on this one is a 13 to hit you, Shellac.
Misses.
All right, misses. That'll put us to the ferry operator's turns.
The crocodile gets to make a save.
Oh yeah, the
With it being heavy.
that's enough to succeed. It's like a 20. No, 19. So it's no longer heavy, but it is almost dead. That ends the crocodile's turns. This is the ferry operator's turns. They both draw their shark-toothed long swords, and they are going to attack Liko and Nyona, now that they are the only two on the boat. So a blade comes out of almost nowhere, Nyona. Two-handed, which is another natural 1. I'm not rolling on roll 20 anymore. Fuck this shit. So that misses you. The blade just cutting through the air, just going like right over your head as you just kind of instinctually dodge out of the way. And you see one of them, and she like curses to herself. She says, "Shit, I missed. Get him!" Looking at the other one, and she is going to attack Liko, who looks a little panicked. That's not much better. That's going to be a 10. Liko has an AC of an 11. So it also misses. And Liko sort of like backs up and is like, whoa, 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 whoa. And the blade just cuts through the air. That's going to be the end of their turns. It is Liko's turn. And he is going to sort of panic and is going to cast a thunder wave at the one in front of him. Just pure instinct, panic, just like get him away and blast him with a thunder wave.
Do I also need to save?
No,
Or-
I think
okay.
they are facing the other direction. It's a pretty large platform. It's probably going to damage the boat too. So we're gonna the ferry is going to take this damage as well. But the Reaver needs to make a con save, which is an 8, so that fails. First level thunder wave does 6 points of thunder damage to the Reaver, and she is blasted off the side of the boat and into the water, just tumbling backwards and landing almost right next to you, Thea. And the ferry in that spot is like the metal and everything kind of like breaks away, kind of destroying a quarter of the ferry.
Is Thea still like out of the water?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think you're
I'm
still
just
on the
gonna be like,
surface.
you don't have to save her. If the crocodile gets her, we're okay.
That's the end of Liko's turn. Thea.
Did I see them attack
Yes,
my
you did.
friends? Dang it! Can I get back up on the boat?
Yeah, you can get up on the boat. You got swim speed. You just kind of like swim up and dolphin leap up onto the boat.
Well,
Has everybody seen
okay.
Waterworld? It's essentially like Kevin Costner leaping up using his fin feet.
That was my character inspiration for Thea.
Yeah.
Was just Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I attack the other one?
Yes, you can. They're within melee of Niona.
Great. I'm just looking at Liko like, why is everyone always trying to kill you?
I don't know. I didn't do anything.
It's a 22 to hit.
22 to hit. Sorry, just reading the chat. Yeah, that hits.
You're gonna get a sneak attack. Da-na-na-na. The 16 slashing damage.
Ooh, that hurts.
And now she's happy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg.
So you slash and with Greg, and the Reaver's kind of goes down almost to one knee from the sudden like weight change, and she is also very badly hurt. And it's your turn, Thea.
Yeah, I can't really hide, I guess. I'm just gonna say, back
No.
up.
All right. That'll be Fang's turn.
Okay, let's try and hit the crocodile.
All right.
Oh, not looking good. That is a 13 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, that was easy to hit. 10 slashing damage.
That one is dead.
And
You
can I make
decapitate
it
this
to
crocodile.
the surface?
No, you get about halfway there with your speed.
Okay. I'm running out of breath because I shouldn't have spoke underwater.
You got a few more rounds. That'll be the end of Fang's turn. Niona.
Okay. I'm going to cast Infestation on the one that's still on deck and see if
Okay.
I can get her off of the deck. with that.
What's the saving throw?
It's a
on
con save,
that? On save.
and it's a 13.
That's a 20, so she
Dang,
succeeds on
she's-
that. Yeah, rolled much better.
Yep.
Anything else?
Nah, she's just mad.
Yeah, these bugs begin to swarm around, but she's just focused on you. Doesn't even give them the time of day. She's seen worse. This is Fantasy Florida, is where she's from. Doesn't care about bugs. All right, Jazz, is your turn.
All right. I think just gonna rinse and repeat. Try and frostbite the croc again.
Okay. It's another con save.
Yes, please.
That's a 7.
Also a fail. 2 cold damage.
Weird.
And again,
Improving.
disadvantage. On
All right,
next attack.
disadvantage for that crocodile. Okay.
And still just
Vivian.
my move speed towards the other shore.
Yeah.
We're going to shoot at the last crocodile, which I think is the one that
Alright.
hit the first time.
Yes.
So attack with Eldritch Blast and then the tentacles bonus action.
Okay.
Okay, so the Eldritch Blast is a dirty 20 and the tentacle is a 22.
Both hit.
I love that. Okay, that's going to be 7 force damage and then 6 cold damage.
That'll kill it. As the tentacle wraps around the crocodile and the Eldritch Blast hits at the same time, its body goes limp and begins to sort of like float down the river. And again, Shantarith is just still in your ear, just like, why are we doing this? I don't understand. Can you explain to me why we're doing this? This isn't what I asked. And you just keep fighting.
I'm also gonna like take my move and to like start heading towards like the boat.
Okay. Shellac, it is your turn.
So both the crocodiles are gone. So, I guess I'm just gonna make my way further down to the other shore.
Okay. Still holding your breath, running. You can see a little bit of motion happening above you, some more combat up there, but running your way along the water bed to the other shore. Okay. Crocodiles are gone. The reavers are going to go now. The one that is on the boat, it's pretty badly hurt. But you're right next to her, Thea, so she is going to slash at you with her sword. Hopes of breaking whatever this effect you have her under. That is an 18.
Oh, probably.
Okay. You're wearing armor, right?
Yeah, I have leather armor. Yeah, that hits me.
Okay. So that is 9 points of slashing damage as the teeth of this blade kind of sink into your armor. You actually, like, as they dig through it, you realize that it probably would be this would hurt a lot worse if you weren't wearing armor right now.
I find that's probably true for most of the times you get stabbed.
Except this has a mechanic. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that is that is true. You should take more damage if you're not wearing armor. This is just the one sword in the universe that actually follows that
It's allergic to
line of
armor.
thinking. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that will end that one's turn. The other one is in the water.
Oh, wait, she has to make a save.
Oh, yeah. She makes a save. That's not enough. So she's still slowed and heavy.
I don't know what the DC is.
It's on the sword
I'm looking
page.
for
I
it.
think it's like a 13, I think.
I just
was
assume
very
you
low.
know.
The one's
DC
in the
13 strength
water.
save.
Just got blasted with thunder. Nobody else. Oh no, you're Fang. You're swimming up to the top.
I'm swimming up to save them. I fell off the boat. I don't know what happened.
I actually think she just climbs back onto the boat and is gonna go for a stab against Liko again in retaliation. So just like swims her way back up, climbs up, and like halfway on the boat tries to slash at him. That is going to be enough. It's 10 plus it's 14. Liko does not have anything to help with that. So that's going to hit. He is not wearing armor. So he takes 11 points of slashing damage. That hurts him pretty bad. Liko's turn. Getting slashed is just going to reach out with a shocking grasp. That is a 19 to hit. That's 8 points of lightning damage. That one. It's also looking pretty rough now. And Liko is going to use that opportunity to essentially run to the other side of the boat to try to hide behind the others. Just like help. Thea.
I'm gonna stab her.
All right, stab her.
Uh-huh. 25.
Hits.
Is anybody else next to
Niona still would be.
her?
Yeah.
That's right. Wow, that's bad. That's 10 slashing damage.
Only had 8 hit points left.
And
Or sorry, 6.
gets heavier again.
Yeah, her body whoosh, just falls to the ground, like kind of cracking into the whole
that's funny.
boat, almost like listing up at the weight of her corpse now. That's it for you.
There's nothing left for. Wait,
There's
can I?
one other
Oh, that's right.
Reaver on the boat.
Yeah, because I can do an offhand attack.
Yeah.
Because I have a dagger.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, sure. I'll go over there. And try
Okay.
to stab that one too. My bonus action. 21.
21 hits.
That's a 4. That's 4 damage.
All right, 4 points damage. Still up. Not looking great. Fang, using the rest of your move speed, I assume for this turn you emerge on top of the water. Looking around, you see the boat kind of pulling away from you a little. No, actually, it's sitting at its normal. It hasn't moved anymore because nobody's pulling it. So you emerge right next to the ferry.
Can I climb onto it?
Yeah, sure. I'll say you can.
Not exactly understanding what's going on. I do see Theo wielding weapons at this other person, so I'm just going to attack them because
Okay.
Theo's got a reason.
Yeah, you see one dead on the ground. It looks very heavy, and the other one that Thea has just pulled her dagger out of.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
I'm just gonna non-lethal. I just want to kind of like just pop him on the head,
Okay.
which is 13 damage.
Yeah, that's a hell of a bop. I think with minimum damage, they would have gone unconscious at this point. So yeah, you just crack her in the back of the head, and she collapses onto the deck. And that will end combat.
What's happening? Why am I attacking the boat people?
What happened?
The boat people attacked us. And
I don't know.
I'm
We just
gonna look at
responded.
Liko. Be like, what did you do?
What do you think I did?
Are you okay?
You got kidnapped, and now you got boat people trying to kill you.
Well,
Dave,
to be fair, they did attack
Ow.
me first.
They did attack her first. Yes.
Well, of course, you
I-
got to get rid of the biggest threat.
Yeah, obviously.
Liko, are
They
you
missed
okay?
because I'm so small, though.
No, that really hurt.
Oh, okay, because I'm not really either.
Okay, I will heal people.
I can also heal people. so.
Okay, I'll heal Theo because I don't know if I trust Liko yet.
Ouch.
I will
Okay.
heal Liko then.
That freaking hurt. What is that sword? It has teeth.
It's just a short sword that looks like it's made out of shark's teeth.
Well, Thea's upset about it.
Yeah, you get 9.
Yay.
So I
And
think
Liko gets 7.
That's all of them.
So I think Vivian at this point is going to like hop onto the boat, and she's gonna like pose and be like, "Hello, I'm back." And then she like looks at Liko, pauses, and goes, "I was gone for a day, and you found a replacement."
Oh no! We didn't replace you. He got kidnapped and we saved him.
We didn't do the kidnapping.
No. Did you get kidnapped?
You're muted,
You
friend.
muted?
You gotta verbalize this thing.
Oh, I think I was muted.
Yeah, you were.
Okay, I'm going to be like, no, I just had a few things I needed to take care of. Look at this, and I'm going to like scoop Chanthrith out of my hair and like hold him out. Isn't he beautiful?
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Whoa. Where'd you get it?
You see a little bit of like
Lunch.
a crackle of electricity at the end of like the tentacles, and Chandra, in your head, Vivian just, are we killing them too?
Out loud, Vivian's gonna be like, no, we're not gonna kill them. This is This is my friend, Chantharith. He's the Great Devourer, and one day he's going to become a big and strong kraken again.
Cool.
Are these new acolytes of mine?
Yes.
Good. They look strong.
Hi.
Kane's gonna get way too close just and sniff it to see if it's worth eating.
It smells like sushi.
We want to feed everyone, but maybe if we let it grow a bit, we could then feed
Can it
everyone.
eat it?
At this point, Jazz and Shellac emerge on the other shore,
Yeah.
having walked up to the bank.
I want to say I'm like partially covered in like seaweed,
Yeah.
or like a small fish drops out. Like I shake out like my shell and a small minnow falls out or something.
Sure.
If one of the crocodiles was floating enough, Jazz would have tried to tow the corpse along to the shore, but without the buoyancy, is not strong enough to actually really get it out of the water.
Yeah. It's just like you get it like wedged onto the shore, but
Are you
guess
all
I'll-
coming?
I'll start pulling on the rope.
okay. You start pulling the rope and
And be
pulling
like,
it along.
is this hempen or silk for this person? And I push the other body off, just like out of the way. It's
Okay. Body goes floating down the river.
I don't know. I mean, she tried to kill us.
gotta be a reason.
Yeah, because they're bad people, probably.
Yes, I've killed people without reason, but I was told to. Maybe they were told to.
By who?
I don't know. We could ask the live one.
We'll find out. We're coming!
You
I
guys
think the
reach.
initial pull, we went backwards, and then Fang's like, up, wrong rope.
You lurch back the wrong way, and then Fang starts pulling you the rest of the way. Liko is going to heal themselves the rest of the way, or most of it. Their hands glow, and they lay a hand on their shoulder where they were slashed, and it begins to sort of stitch up. Heal themselves
Whoa,
another
that's cool.
3.
Can you
know
just do
mending?
that?
Is that what it's called? I don't know. It's just something I can do. Can't do it a lot though.
Maybe that's why he was kidnapped.
Because magic?
Because his hands closed.
I hope not. And you reach the shore.
They're the wisest bunch of people.
Oh, hey, we have a hostage now.
And it's not Liko.
Hempen or silk?
Ampen, because they're not friends.
Yeah.
Silk is for friends, remember?
Yes, well, while we wait for them to wake up, can anyone help me remove some of the crocodile skin? I imagine I could fashion some items out of its hide.
I could try.
I think Shellac's swamp country background comes into full effect and is like, yeah, sure, and just goes with his claws and just rips a tear down the side of it like someone is like field dressing a deer, and does it without reproach.
I
Like,
come from down on the bayou. with,
I mean, basically.
we use every part of the crocodile here. Okay, so yeah, you could do that. Jazz, do you have any tools that would help for this situation?
Gosh,
Or-
right now I've got thieves' tools and smith's tools. I do have a dagger. It would take an hour to fashion some other kind of artisan's
Are you-
tools.
Are you proficient in an artisan's tool that would help with like tanning or?
Not currently.
Just
It
curious.
takes the
So
hour he becomes it.
So it takes a bit of doing. Yeah. I think it just takes some time. It's slow going because Shellac, you have your background. I assume you don't have any proficiencies that's directly appropriate, but with your experience down on the bayou, you know a little bit on how to take care of this. So you just have to take some time. I'd say it takes about an hour of you guys resting here to deal with that. You tie up the your prisoner, and towards the end of that hour, which you guys can use to take a short rest if you want to. I don't know if any of you have anything to recuperate. However, at the end of it, your prisoner begins to stir. However, we're going to go ahead and take our break here and pick back up to see what happens next. So thank you all for watching. We'll be back real soon, so stay tuned for the rest of our session. See you in a minute. Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Saturday Night's Apocalypse. Thanks for joining us on our break. Let's go ahead and get back in. So your group has made it to the other side of this river, and you have a prisoner, one of the reavers / ferry operators that tried to attack you. You've skinned a crocodile. You had a moment to take a short rest. If there's anything you needed to recover on that, what would you like to do? Oh, this person starts to stir, I guess. That's where we left off last time. So the reaver comes to, and she kind of like pulls against her bindings a bit and realizes that she's tied up, and realizes it's hemp rope, so she's not a friend, and looks up at all of you with this sort of panicked expression, goes back and forth. All right, so this has been a bit of a misunderstanding.
I'm just like nudging Vivian to the front since people seem to like talking to her. She tried to kill us.
Oh. So Vivian, not really knowing like what the party's even doing, goes up to the lady and like points at her and just repeats what Thea said. You tried to kill us.
Yes. Well, like I said, that was a misunderstanding. It was a test, and you passed. Yay.
Your sorry. Your friend didn't actually pass then, if that was a test.
Yeah, he's dead.
Looks at the river. What did you say, Alex?
I didn't say anything yet, but if given the chance, Jazz would step forward and go, "You did not wish to take us across, and yet you decided to then try and kill us, presumably to loot our belongings. My question for you is, was this a crime of opportunity, or have you been paid by someone to attack travelers, or even worse, us specifically?"
Which one is not going to get me killed?
Tell us the truth, and that will be your best chance of getting out of this alive.
Right. We have... it's our job. Was our job, is my job.
And if it's your job, someone is paying you to do this.
No, not so much being paid. Well, kind of. I mean,
self-employed, or there is someone you go on. You were about to be forthcoming.
It's a cult thing, isn't it?
No.
The last guy was a cult thing.
Last guy.
I'm not talking to you.
Which guy?
The rock guy. The squish.
Oh, that's like 3 guys ago. The last guy was a kidnapper.
Which
Well,
was
yeah.
also
We have
quite
killed
possibly
so
a
many
cult.
people lately.
Could have been a cult guy. Anyway,
Yeah.
go on. Go on.
Lico's just
Are you a
listening
flat
to
earther?
this conversation, just like cults. Wait, what do we?
I'll tell you. I start telling him about the
Yeah,
cults.
kidnappee. You're probably gonna be sacrificed for one of them.
This is no, it's not a cult, just a group of people with similar beliefs uniting to accomplish a common good.
A delegation.
Underneath a
That's another one.
charismatic and probably magical leader.
So you've met them.
No, but it's a cult.
Did they worship rocks?
No, we don't worship. We don't worship rocks. We're not like those other guys. I mean, no, we don't worship rocks.
The other guys, are they the monastery people? Are you the monastery people?
I shouldn't say anything else.
Which haunted household do you live in?
Haunted? We don't live in a haunted house.
Wait, so what do you
Haunted
worship?
Sky Tower?
It is. I really shouldn't say anything else.
No. I want to know.
I really shouldn't.
I think you should. I mean, you're kind of hostage right now, and we could kill you.
I don't know if this is a persuasion or intimidation check.
I'm
Like the way that
proficient in
last.
both.
Okay, then either dealer's choice.
Dirty 20.
Okay. You promise you'll let me go if I sell you?
Okay,
let you
but like
cross
behind
to-
her back, her fingers are crossed.
We may let you go
All
to
right.
the other side of the river since we imagine your friends are in the monastery behind us. We don't want you warning them that we're coming.
Okay. Well, first off, they're not my friends. We have acquaintances. We have a loose arrangement with the people that live in the monastery that also have a common set of beliefs that they share to achieve a common goal underneath a
For the
charismatic.
sake of shorthand, let's refer to it as a cult. It will save us
Shall-
all a lot of time.
Shellick is behind everybody, just going cult, 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 cult.
They're good. They're decent people. I definitely not the worst people out here in the wastes, but yeah, we help each other out. But no, I don't. I live somewhere else.
But what do you
Yeah.
worship?
Well, that's complicated. I don't really. I'm sort of agnostic as far as beliefs. Like, I don't have a strong, but I do have sort of water. Yeah.
What about water? I'm water. Do you see this? I like show her my hair.
That's actually very nice. How do you
Thank you.
do that? Is it's like a conditioner or like?
It's water.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, do you belong to any groups?
I do. I also belong to a group that likes water.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you'd get along with us and my friends. Then you should join us.
Oh, yeah. I'll check you out. What's your name?
Okay. Oh boy, this isn't gonna work for the NPC names I've been given. No, I'm gonna save those. Arla.
I like you, Arla. We'll pretend that you didn't try to kill the part like us.
Thank you. If you really want to join, I mean, you would probably get along really well with them. And looks over to Shellac and you two. I think they'd like you a lot. And then looks over to Thea and yeah, I mean, you seem like you'd fit in pretty well. And looks to the others. I'm sure you're nice people.
Shellac just keeps chanting cult, 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 cult.
We gotta join a cult, guys.
Is this the one in the keep?
The keep. I never heard of a keep.
That's a total inside check there.
Get an insight check with advantage because everyone in this game is bad at lying.
I rolled the same number twice, so that's only a 10.
Seems to be telling the truth.
Maybe it's with
Everyone else
Florence.
knows they're lying. Fang believes them. Nope. Never heard of a keep before. Never seen it. I don't even know what a keep is. It's a funny word.
You also, you also didn't know that the water was pretty calm, even though, it was like, you're kind of a boater, so.
You're about to keep these hands if you don't tell us what we want to know.
All right. Well, okay. If you're interested in joining, go to. I mean, I've never heard of it, but there's a place called Riverguard Keep that I've never heard of, never been to before. It's a little south of here, not too far. If you would like to join, just go there, and ask for Gar.
What did you say?
Ask for Gar.
If you want to join the cult,
If you want to join the cult, ask for Gar. He's the
Does he have a last name?
kind of magical,
Dian.
charismatic leader. Shatterkeel.
Do you work
Why?
for him?
I mean, we all. Again, it's not really an employment thing. It's
Kick
more
her
like
in the face.
volunteer work. Ow!
Is
God.
this the claw dude?
Mm-hmm.
So you have met him.
Okay. Are we after anyone else?
Yeah, I've met him.
Are
Cool.
you okay, Thea?
He destroyed a bunch of my village and a bunch of our fishing boats and killed a bunch of my friends and family.
Just say the word, and Fang
So-
will draw out his sword.
Maybe it's a different Gar. Maybe
you have a claw?
No.
Are you lying to me?
Yes. I don't know anything about what you're talking about, though. That sounds pretty bad.
Why are you working for him? If he's pretty bad.
I mean, because he's also pretty cool, but like in a bad way.
If we let you loose, where are you gonna go?
Not there.
Is that true?
Are you sure?
If you let me go, I won't go back. I promise. I'll go the opposite direction.
I have a proposition. What if we brought her with us? I just want to hear more about this water group, you know?
The water group that killed villagers, fishing people. Tried
Yes, I
killing us.
I just want to know more about them. You know, their belief system. You guys replaced me when I was gone. Let me have someone too.
We didn't replace you. Fine, I don't
You
want to.
replaced us with dinner.
We can't just kill people because of who they're associated with. I don't care.
I promise I will not go back. I'll give it all up. It's too much work anyway.
Well, of course you're not gonna go back if you're coming with us, silly.
Oh no, we're going there.
Okay.
I have to go north. I can't go south right now.
But we can do that too. But we're gonna go there because I'm gonna slit this guy's throat and cut off his crab claw.
Oh, okay, that's great. Maybe we can join while we're there. You kill him, I can take the reins.
I don't see why that would be a bad idea.
Okay. Where are you guys heading, by the way?
Right now, we are still trying to head up to the monastery there because we believe that is where all the kidnapped people have been taken. So, let's get back to that, shall we?
Oh, good. We're going the same direction.
Okay, so we don't need this person anymore.
They still know more information about their loose association with the people in the monastery, so tell us more about that if you would be so kind.
I mean, they're just a bunch of people that really like rocks. There's not really much else to say there. I mean, we took them across a couple of times. They bring a lot of people with them.
Are these people ever bound, or do they come willingly?
Mostly tied up. Yeah.
And how
They
well
ever
armed-
come back?
No.
Okay, then.
How well armed are these people? How many different individuals have you seen?
Oh, I mean, I've only seen about the same, like 10 or so people coming through. But I think there's probably a lot more up there.
Does anyone else have any immediately pertinent questions?
No, I really want to go see this monastery.
All right, so gonna let me go.
I believe we need to have a brief discussion on that.
I mean, Vivian wants to keep her, and I don't see why we don't keep her.
I would love another companion.
I'm very high maintenance.
It's okay, me too.
Oh no.
Here, you can travel with us for a little bit. When we reach the monastery, then you can leave. But I want to talk to you in the meantime. Just learn more about your organization and the best way to instill myself in that place of power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
How
Vivian?
angry is Theo?
Vivian, do you want to be a cult leader?
No. I don't want to actually run the cult. I just want to spread my own beliefs, and maybe this water cult is a good place to start. Don't worry, it's all good. We can kill the guy. We can destroy the cult. I'll just get my word out there first.
I just want that one guy. I don't care.
Okay, cool.
I'll show you how you become leader of the cult, and I'm gonna kill this prisoner.
I don't
You
think
do
we
not-
should.
Why not?
We literally just gave you like 5 reasons.
I wasn't listening.
Perhaps we should have a huddle away from the person we may or may not kill.
Oh, you said we needed to talk, so I assumed we were already doing that.
Yeah, we'll say you guys walked off a little bit.
Vivian wants to talk to her, and she might have more information, and I also don't think we should just murder somebody based on a loose association with a guy I don't like. I mean, he's
Liko
a
kind
sort
of
of
is-
a mass murdering person.
I think Shellac is very much in agreement, but says, but I think we need to be careful because they might turn their back on any one of us at a moment's notice.
Oh no, they absolutely will. They
Oh,
already did.
But
We
there's 6
can
of us
keep
in
her
one.
bound. Like, we don't have to remove the bindings.
Liko sort of raises a hand and says, "Can I make a suggestion?"
I'm Vivian.
Is it killing
Hi,
them?
Liko. Nice to meet you.
You too. You're very pretty.
Thank you. Love the hair.
Thank you.
So, if you want to keep this person as a prisoner, we could take him back to Summit Hall. It's not too far from here. And kind of listening in on this plan that you're coming up with, I think there's someone there you might want to meet. I know that'd be a little bit of backtracking because we were going up to the monastery, but probably want to talk to this person first now.
Who is it?
The leader of the hall, she goes by Stormbreaker. I promise she's a lot nicer than that sounds. But She's a follower of Tyr, like me. There's some other stuff too that I can't tell you because I'm not allowed, but I can, if you want to meet them. It sounds like they kind of want to do the same thing you're doing. Or, it's worth a shot, and then you don't have to lug this person around or kill them. You can keep them there. We can get some information from them.
Yeah.
It frees up time, but we still get what we need.
And you know where the monastery is now. We can come back here tomorrow.
I'm okay with that.
The biggest variable there is, will any of the delegation, who we assume have been taken to the monastery, will they still be alive if we delay a day? So I guess.
Well, if they
It-
took
it's
him
been
alive, and it's been like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's already been a couple weeks, so.
You're looking for the delegation? It says the woman on the ground.
Oh my gosh,
people from Mirabar.
does nobody know how to not be nosy?
I mean,
We're
you're like 20
standing-
feet away from me.
Yeah, but it's just like we're standing over here and you're over there because you're not a part of this conversation.
You tied me up, I think.
You tried to kill us.
All right, well,
What do you
I have
want?
some information.
What?
I may know where some of them are.
Okay, great. Just say things instead of being all.
I might have helped help them take some people that they captured from Mirabar across the river a couple weeks ago. And then there were some others one other specifically that we took back to the keep that I've never heard of or been to.
And which one was that one?
I don't know her name. She was like an elf, what's kind of like a druid.
Cool. Thanks for letting me know.
They kind of wanted her help with some stuff that they're working on over there that, again, I don't know because I'm very low on there's like an initiation thing, and then you got to pay your dues for like several years and work your way up. I'm very low on the ladder. So, but yeah, one of them's down that way, I know for sure. And then a bunch of them were taken up to the monastery.
I really just
Did
want
any
to
of-
throw you in the river.
Did any of the other prisoners get taken anywhere else?
Not that I saw, but I know that they work with, I mean, they may probably. There have been a lot of people coming in and out of the monastery, but I don't know where the other ones might have gone. Hope that was helpful. So the Liko says, sound good? Summit Hall then.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be our best bet.
He said, you're really going to want to meet them. I think it's going to help out, answer a lot of questions. So, if you guys are going along with it, you head back across the river, go up to the car, dragging your prisoner with you, and load them in the back of the truck, putting the steering wheel back in. It's getting kind of late at this point, into the evening, and kicking on the lamps on the front of the truck, you go veering off south in the direction of the direction of Summit Hall. When you arrive at the building, it is a large, ancient stone, impressive structure, probably a grand keep at some point. but it is long since fallen into disrepair, patched over with bits of metal plating to help kind of solidify it. There are some lights along the parapets of the walls that surround the building, and you see some people watching from there. As you approach, somebody walks out into the road. You're catching the headlights as they hold up a hand, and as you approach, Liko kind of leans out and waves at them, and the person gives a thumbs up and kind of waves you on through, pulling into a large yard where there are about a dozen cars and bikes parked there in various levels of maintenance and disrepair. You unload from the car, and you can see the banners that hang there that have been repaired and kind of added to the building all have these, like, the emblem of Tyr blazoned across them. There are very clearly worshippers of Tyr here, and as you're unloading, some people that are part of this community that live here at Summit Hall come up, and some say hi to Liko as they seem to be sort of familiar with them. Liko turns back to all of you and says, and you know, obviously, like, you all can stay here for as long as you want. It's good people here, but if you want to come meet Stormbreaker right now, I can take you to her. Probably should just go and take that one with us too, gesturing to the prisoner. I assume Fang is probably the one in charge.
Yeah, I
of keeping the
would
prisoner.
have tied a rope attached to me and informed the prisoner that if this goes tight at any time, they're gonna get hit. But keep up.
All right. The person kind of like the Arla tied up just nods and says, "Yeah, okay." And
I start running. No.
oh, okay.
I kick them out of the truck and I drive. Like, keep it tight.
you she jogs to keep up with you. You all go into the main, like, chamber of this building. You can see, like, there's almost like a market that's set up here from all the people that live here at Summit Hall. Everything built out of the ruins of this old building. And Liko asked a few people for directions, asked them where Stormbreaker is, and they're led back to one of the chambers off of this main hall. There's a wooden door that's been constructed and put in place, and Liko walks up to it and knocks a couple times, and you hear a voice inside bark out, "What is it?" And Liko says, "Hi, it's Liko. I'm back. I've got some friends that want to meet you." He says, "One moment." And there's some shuffling inside, very loud footsteps, and the door is yanked open, and you see a very large Goliath woman with a head shaved on one side, big scars across her face, like she's been burned to hell at some point. She's got this patchwork metal armor, this big emblem of Tyr at the center of it, this like breastplate, and she opens the door, just like imposing, looming down over all of you, and looks and says, "Liko, you're back!" And leans in and gives Liko a big hug. Liko kind of almost crushes, "Ow, ow, ow, ow!" Goes, "You got weaker, I think, while you were gone. How did it go? Did you find the delegation?" And Liko says, no, well, kinda. This is kind of a long story. These people were looking for him too. Meet my friends. What did you guys call yourselves again? I forget.
The delegation.
The whiskey
Cool.
delegation.
The whiskey delegation, right?
And I think Shellac just kind of goes at the sound of whiskey.
The whiskey delegation. I like it. I am Stormbreaker. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You're tall.
Thank you. That's how I get's name. I so tall can break storms. You get it.
How much
It's funny.
smaller than Fang?
They are about 8'6".
I'm not used to looking up. I don't like it.
Yeah, they're very tall.
Can't lie. I want to fight. Ominous.
You are big yourself, and like pats you on the shoulder. You all look tired. Come in, and leads you into their chambers, like an office space that they have here. It's mostly just weapons and stuff on the walls and some maps, but it constitutes an office for someone named Stormbreaker. And there are some chairs scattered around, and Stormbreaker goes and leans up against a wall and says, "So, whiskey delegation, what is your purpose here?" Liko says, "You might be important to be meeting. How can I help?"
We're looking for your missing peoples.
Looking for delegation. Other delegation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And for what purpose?
Work.
Work. Looks over at Liko and looks back. Well, after hearing what you all did in Red Larch, I might be inclined to help your group a bit. Word travels fast here in the valley. Harbuck says hi, by the way.
I miss him.
Yes. From the words that Harbuck sent that you might be heading this direction, I think that you might be worth knowing. Are you dedicated and willing to help out the people of this valley?
Yeah, there's some bad dudes here.
That there are other bad things as well, beyond just the dudes. I will be showing you something then. I think that you can be trusted if Liko brings you here. Liko gives a nod and says, "Yeah, actually, I think that I think they can know too. I mean, you trusted me, so they're probably more competent than I am, and they were pretty gung ho. They were just going to head right over and start charging into places. So I think it's the least you can do to kind of warn them."
Yeah, you've almost died twice today.
Yeah. Stormbreaker looks at Liko. "You have. We need to be getting you something, padding or a bell or something." So you don't
Yeah,
get
because so
lost.
far it's just been me standing in between you and the sharp things. Like, no offense, I'll help, but.
Stormbreaker laughs at that, says, "Well, if you help Liko, then I will trust you. Come. And there's another doorway leading out the back of this room. It says, "You will be meeting people. I will show you what is going on here." And they open up a door in the back of the room and lead you down a hallway. And as they're walking, they're speaking with you and say, "We are, as Liko probably tell you, we are followers of Tyr here. But there is more going on in the valley, except beyond just our religious obligations. Have you, I assume, meeting Harbuck? He might have clued you in a bit about our group. We call ourselves the Law. We've
So
been
he
working
wasn't just
here.
full of himself.
No, he likes to tell people that he's a part of our organization. Leads you to another door into a staircase leading down.
I thought he was just doing, like, the cowboy thing.
Before we go too far, can I knock out the prisoner and just drag them behind me so they don't hear all this?
Oh, yeah,
you
can we put them somewhere?
Just a quick.
Oh, you're
hit
saying they are not with you? I thought they were just. That was
No,
just their
no,
kind
head
of friendship.
against the wall and
No.
just.
They were
Oh.
tied up
drag
in
them
the
behind
silk
me.
rope. They would be a friend.
That's
Ah,
right.
right.
Very
You know the
specific
standard
friend.
rules.
They are prisoner then.
They
We have
have
place
ties
for that.
to the group in Riverguard Keep and knowledge of the dealings in the monastery.
Ah, right.
If they
That's
die, I
good.
don't care. Like, you can just not feed them.
Right. We will probably be feeding them because that is what we do. But we will find a place where they will not cause any more trouble. And I think just walks over and like, if you've knocked them out, just like grabs them by the scruff of the neck and just holding them like a puppy, and carrying them down the stairs with them. Continue to talk, not even winded by carrying this person. Says, as I said, we call ourselves the Law. We are a group of like-minded individuals that are looking to bring order back to the valley.
Are you the charismatic and probably magical leader?
No, we have no. I mean, I am their leader. I am the leader. I have no magic, though.
Oh, okay. It's not a
Are
cult,
you
guys.
charismatic?
Don't worry about it.
I'd like to think so.
Then it's still mostly a cult. But cult does not necessarily have a negative connotation to it. Just usually.
Is Tyr cool?
Tyr is the coolest.
I just like assumed he was really sad all the time.
No, that is funny joke you be making. No, Tyr Tyr, not the other.
Yep, that it was a joke.
I've
There
not
are.
heard that one. You think someone be making that joke here? And it continues to lead you down until the passageway levels off. And down here in this undercroft, there's probably about a dozen or so people. There's a table in the center of the room with a map of the valley on it. There are some other like doorways leading off into side rooms and some very well armored, competent looking individuals. A lot of them wearing Stetsons that are all kind of moseying around down here. You gather that maybe what Harbuck was wearing was more of a uniform than here, and they're all wearing badges too, like Harbuck's. And some of them gathering equipment and heading back up the stairs. Some of them not. And Stormbreaker holds the prisoner out, says, "Somebody take this." And somebody comes over and says, "A prison cell, ma'am." And Stormbreaker nods, says, "Yes, to cells. Make sure that they are fed, but restrained." They take him, say, "Will do," and begin to wander down the hallway. And Stormbreaker says, "This is our operation here for the Law. We deputize individuals, send them out into the waste, and make sure that they keep the settlements around here in check. There's not much of an overarching governing body here, as you've probably learned, especially up in Red Larch. Hardbuck's had their hands full. But we do what we can here and try to keep things in order." When I be saying that there is not magic involved, though, I probably should say that we do have one individual here that does provide us with some magical guidance. We call them the Oracle, and they're the ones that sort of tell us where to go. The Oracle's the one that actually led us to here at Summit Hall initially. You'll probably want to be meeting them, but recently, within the last year, a few months ago, the Oracle delivered to us a vision of something terrible to be happening here in the valley. We've been, concerned about stopping that ever since. When Liko arrived, we sent them out to deal with the same, to investigate this vision, as we believed it might involve this delegation. So if you're looking for the delegation, you're doing the same thing that Liko is planning on doing, and I think we can help each other. You don't have to join the Law if you don't want to, but it might benefit you. There are some perks to being a member.
Do I get a hat?
You get the hat and a badge.
I'm in.
Not everybody has. You don't have to wear the hat or the
I want to
badge.
wear the hat.
We have to wear the hat.
Okay, you can wear the hat then.
Yes.
Is everybody interested? If you don't, you're free to go. But
They wish to hear what some of the other perks are.
Well,
Hat.
Hat and badge.
Badge.
Number one perks. Safe place to be. We provide rooms and board for everyone. Also equipment. Any supplies you might need. We have lots of scavengers that make their way out into the valley and bring things back. So if you're somebody who's inclined to build and repair and maintain equipment, that might be beneficial to you. We'll also reward you for any of your efforts.
Are there any commitments that we're making by joining this group? Anything we have to do?
You're only committing to maintaining law and order within the valley.
Okay.
If you can do that, then I think we're even Steven.
Who's even Steven?
He's a friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
Honest guy.
So, like Savannah / Thea was saying, I think most of us assumed Harbuck was doing the cowboy thing, but now that we know the law as an actual organization, have we heard of them before doing stuff, or are they relatively isolated?
No, you've never heard of them before. They're a secret organization. Well, as secret as you can be. They're just a group of
Secret
cowboys.
Cowboy Association.
Secret Cowboy Association. But we have members. From what I hear, you are also members of other groups. From what Harbuck told me, so this will not impede on that. You can still do your own things. You just need to make sure the people of the valley are safe.
I mean, if we're gonna be here doing that anyway, might as well wear a fancy hat.
Yeah.
Well, if you're in, there isn't a orientation or any sort of ritual or anything. We'll just need to size you for your head measurements and get you some badges. But you should be meeting the Oracle, and you can see the vision that we are concerned about. Liko, do you want to be taking them? Liko nods, says, yeah, sure. Would you like to meet the Oracle?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Stormbreaker. And she gives a nod. Says, I be here, resting my voice because this accent, I begin to lose it when I talk for too much. And she heads back to her office.
Liko, why don't you have a big hat?
I didn't really like it. It takes I work a lot on keeping my hair like.
Oh.
Just make it taller.
It just didn't really fit my style. I do have a badge though.
Cool.
Like opens up his jacket and there's a badge right there.
Really? Now we can hang out all the time.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, as Stormbreaker said, it's kind of my job. I was investigating the delegation, see if it's connected to this vision the Oracle had. Here, I'll show you. Come on. And begins to lead back to the back of the room where there's a set of double doors, and they're like guarded. There are two cowboys standing outside the doorway. It says, now, the Oracle, I wouldn't expect them to answer a lot of questions for you. They're not really the talking type. So, just be prepared for that. But they have given a lot of, well, everything that they've given us has come true. So we know whatever this vision they gave us is going to come to pass. They draw pictures, and those pictures kind of show what's going to happen. Comes up to the door and says, like I said, just don't charge in on them or anything. Just be cool, okay?
The last
Looks like-
circle we met moved stones around. Got
Oh.
had crushed via the stone.
No, it's not like that. She's
Legit.
legit. and turns around, pushes the door open, and as the doors open, you look into a very brightly colored room. There are the walls on the left and right side are painted in these beautiful kind of cartoonish scenery. There are like shapes and numbers in like clouds and stuff on the walls. Across the floor you see there's a little like hobby horse, and there's a set of blocks, and sitting in the middle of all of it is a young elf girl. Looks the equivalent of about 6 in human years. And she's just kind of playing with some toys and drawing on the ground. And Liko kind of walks in and kind of leans down and says, hi Natalia, you doing okay? And she looks up and like gives a nod, doesn't say anything back though, and then Liko stands and turns back and says, this is the Oracle.
Gaz is going to go ahead and quietly, and not hiding it, but not being obtrusive about it, cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
And just figure out what's going on. Not going to take the time to do this as a ritual. So.
Okay. As you cast Detect Magic, you don't sense any residual magics in the room, but the girl is like a beacon of magical energy, just as a very strong divination presence just like radiating off of her like nuclear. She's very magical. So this is her. She draws pictures that give us an idea. Here, I'll show you some of them. And kind of walks over, and there's a like a shelf on the other side, and pulls out these drawings, these very sort of cartoonish looking drawings on pieces of paper that Liko shifts through, and he shows them to you. And I mean, everything that you're seeing is kind of like, again, it's abstract, and you don't really get too much detail for it, but it's things like a man walking a dog, and a car driving underneath like a sunset, and it's like raining off in the distance, and the things that you expect a 6-year-old to draw. And Liko says, I know it doesn't look like much, but they're all, all of these things happen somewhere, as far as we know. We don't track down all of them unless they look, important. But there was one that sort of gave us a bit of, sort of worried, because I'll just have to show you. And walks to the back of the room, and there's a curtain drawn back there, and pulls the curtains open. You see a stone wall that's unpainted on the back. And drawn in chalk along the bottom is this. And I'm going to pan you guys over. Now, we have no idea what this means. But whatever it is, it's going to come true.
That is a symbol we have seen before. Immediately pointed out.
Yeah, I think all of those symbols we've seen before, actually, or most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the eye and then the 4 of them.
Yeah, it was part of the Dark Sigil.
So, yeah, I think pointing out those 4 symbols, we have seen those 4 symbols together.
And I've just seen a big eye, and I got, zooped away. So that's a little frightening.
Well, so it's kind of got some legitimacy. When she drew this initially, we started looking into a lot of it. Most of it's kind of, can't really figure out what it is. But those symbols, we found a little bit of evidence around. It seems that these groups around the valley have been using them. They're associated with them. Yeah, I guess they're the cause of all of it.
Jazz, is that you? And she's gonna point to like the drawing, like in the lower left.
It has been a while since I experimented with having clamps and antenna, but it is possible it is meant to be me. Though
And I
doubt it.
think Shellac notices in the upper left. It's like he's like, now that kind of looks like some of the lizard folk that I in the area that I grew up around. But big.
I ever thought that maybe the drawings are what's causing the issues? She draws it, then it comes to life. I think maybe she is the cause of the trouble.
I assume Detect Magic isn't getting anything off these drawings right now.
No, the drawings themselves don't give off any magic.
That would be highly unlikely. At the very least, the drawings themselves are not magical, Fang, though perhaps in the drawing there is some other kind of magic that occurs. Kind of turning to Liko. Are you able to get her to draw prophetic images? I hesitate to say on command, because that sounds cruel, but is there a chance we could see it in action?
No, she just sort of does it when she wants to. She'll ask for something to write on and then just sort of starts going at it. She can't really even talk, so she can't really explain what they are. We think that once she gets older, it's probably going to get a little bit better, but that's going to be a while. You know, elves, they age really slow. So right now, we just kind of have to deal with the visions that she gets, and luckily she can tell them to us, kind of.
Well, I think Shellac points out, like, well, I wonder if each of these, like, crystal, or each of these symbols corresponds to these different events that appear to happen, or these entities.
Well, one of the symbols we found on the armor some dead person was wearing.
Yes,
The
on
bugbears.
Yeah.
who attacked
But maybe
the
it's
delegation.
just for like this symbol represents the monastery people. This symbol represents the crab dude.
Given the coloration of the symbol we found on the bugbear armor and the fact that our former prisoner said that the people in the monastery worship stone and is going to use the artificer thing to make an image appear, I do believe that is the symbol for the element of earth, meaning these others are presumably air, water, and fire. We've heard of the Riverguard Keep. I imagine they worship water. This Feathergale Society sounds like they might worship air, but we have yet to hear about the fires.
If we're going by that kind of logic, what's his name? Bastion Thermometer is in that druid area and his fire, so.
Yeah, he's a fire genasi.
So maybe your mud dude's at the monastery.
That could be.
Anyone after somebody in the air area?
Are there
Yeah.
air genasi?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're a
okay.
thing.
Okay.
But does anyone have an air person issue we gotta deal with? Looking at Jazz, Vivian, and Fungus.
Just rereading my adventure hook.
Like you don't have to tell us if it's all your friends. But hey.
I do believe all these organizations are worth investigating, since it sounds like they may each have a member of the delegation.
Oh, this is gonna take a long time.
Were you expecting this to be done in a day?
Oh,
Well, yeah, they were just like, hey, there's this group of people, they haven't made it yet.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that they all got split up and taken to like 4 corners of the map.
Ligo says, well, I mean, you're welcome to stay here for as long as you need to. Now that you're, in. So.
I'm just an associate, so I don't really want to join up with groups that work better alone. Well,
Okay.
not really. Just not tied to an organization.
He has commitment
That-
issues.
Seems like it. Yeah, no, that's fine. You're not forced to join. Like I said, it's like, secret, but not like that secret. So, okay. Yeah, cool. Well, I mean, I guess I'll let them know if she starts to have a vision again to include you, to tell you so you can come see it. But right now, I there's no way of knowing.
So I like to think that Vivian's just kind of like off to the side, like whispering to Tranthorith, like trying to get him to like talk to the child. So yeah, that's what she's doing.
Why would I talk to it?
She's like a strong divination person.
It's a child. I find them irksome.
Maybe she'll become an acolyte.
Trying to think of how this conversation goes because it's telepathically. So you probably you get tuned in on, you get included on the conference call as Chantarith, an eye looks over towards the oracle and just says, "You, small elf, worship me." The oracle looks up, looks around. Over this way. No, look this way. The powerful being in the corner. I know. I'm over. Yeah. Yes. Right here. Waves a tentacle over, and she looks and stands up and kind of walks over, holding some blocks in her hands as she does, and says, "Yes, yes. Do as I command." Tell me I don't even know what to ask in this situation. Use your powers to help me. She just looks up, really confused, starts trying to poke at your hair.
I let her.
No, stop that. Stop. It retreats up on top of your head. I don't want it grabbing me.
Okay, maybe next time. I'll rejoin the group. I'll leave the child.
You walk away. She still kind of follows you, and kind of walks in the middle of the group, and is still trying to poke up at your hair.
As she wanders over, we'll kind of get down to Natalia's level. Natalia, right? Does this, and pointing to the robot picture, have anything to do with me? Okay. It is a very nice drawing.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Just sort of looks around, looking around at all the adults standing around her.
There's a really short one here too, though. I'm probably her height.
Yeah,
If not
probably
shorter.
just around the same height. She just hands a block to you.
Ooh, can I entertain her with just a bunch of minor illusions?
Okay.
I'm going to just make a minor illusion of my little Kraken friend, and she's gonna be there too, and they're gonna be dancing.
Just hear Chandra in your head. Is that supposed to be me? That looks nothing like me. I'm much more intimidating. And she starts like laughing and trying to like grab at the illusions and stuff. Any other interactions you want to have with the Oracle? All right. So Liko kind of leads her back and sits her down and gives her her toys, and he turns to the rest of you and ushers you out of the room and says, well, that's pretty much it. So I don't know what it means. I guess we'll have to figure it out as we go, but we kind of have the same job now. Still want to head back to the monastery?
Yeah, we probably should.
Well, I should probably stay here for tonight unless you're wanting to go at night. Just has its ups and downs, I guess. But we can stay here for the night and then head out tomorrow.
Yeah, I would say that's fine.
Okay. Good. All right. I'll show you your rooms. Get you some food too. Liko leads you out, and you're led upstairs, back into the main area. You're given some food. You're given your rooms. Anything else you want to do for the night?
I think Jazz would go out to the truck at some point and continue trying to work on that harpoon gun idea we started discussing.
Okay.
See if they can make any more progress on that. Get it mounted on the truck.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they have lots of equipment here. What's your... It's good tool proficiency, like blacksmiths or tinkerers?
Yeah, I've got smith's tools.
Okay, we'll do smith's tools for that because it's a little more like heavy machinery sort of stuff.
Which attribute?
Let me think. You've got enough muscle to help you, so I think it's more of a matter of intelligence to actually design and make it work.
It's much better than strength. Doesn't help if I roll a 1, but that is still going to be a 7.
Okay. You start working on it. I think you get like the mechanisms based on like a crossbow design sort of, but figuring out the mounting and the triggering mechanism, because you don't want to have to trigger it from be standing on the front of the car to do it. You want some sort of like trigger inside the vehicle or further back on it. You're trying to like figure out exactly how that works. It's going to take you some more time. You're probably going to have to work on it on a future evening. The rest of you, anything interesting?
I want to talk to Liko and ask him awkward questions.
Okay. You finally go probably sitting outside on the hood of a car. I don't know, doing something, like fiddling with something.
What are you doing?
Nothing. I was just trying to figure out. It kind of holds it up, and it's a set of like it's like a piece of armor plating that Stormbreaker gave them, and says, she gave this to me. I don't really know if it's really gonna work. It just doesn't really. It's not really my style.
You don't like
I'm
it?
just tired of getting slashed. No, I don't. What's up?
I'm bored. Do you want to play a game?
Sure. What kind of game?
I have dice.
Okay. Like gambling or just
I don't know.
cool? Yeah, and you guys sit down and go to play some dice. Are you betting anything, or is it just
No,
for the fun?
this is something to do.
Okay. Any other questions or conversation you're having? What are you asking?
Why are you shiny?
Why am I? I don't know. Actually, it's kind of always been this way. Hold on, looking at my name here. Gnarl just told me it's just how I was born.
Cool. So you have a voice in your head?
Yep. Yes, I do.
What's that like?
Crowded. Yeah, it's just weird having somebody just like talk to you just out of nowhere.
What do they tell you, like jokes or?
No, it's more like quests. They tell me what to do, how to do things, that sort of stuff.
But then Stormbreaker also tells you what to do.
Yeah, I mean, mostly it's kind of the same thing. Like Gnarl told me to come here, which is where I met Stormbreaker, and then Stormbreaker has told me what to do to help them. So like, I guess they're sort of on the same page. They're both like tight with Tyr, so everyone's sort of helping each other out.
Is it always helping?
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly, or yeah?
I mean, other than like the boring stuff, which I don't really know, like how, like, going places and talking to people. Like, I don't know if that like directly helps somebody, but I mean, I think it all ends up helping people in the end. It's complicated, but I mean, I'm not going to question an angel, so.
That's an angel?
Yeah, that Gnarl is an angel.
Well, that's probably why
That's
you're
for sure.
shiny.
Probably. I mean, Gnarl just said it's like genetic or something.
So is the angel like your dad or what?
No. I don't think so. I'd have to ask my mom.
Awkward.
Yeah, but no, I don't think that's how it works. I think it's more like fate.
Yeah, people keep talking about that.
Well, it's important.
If it's true.
I mean, there's a child downstairs who can predict the future, so kind of believe in it at this point.
Yeah, I can see that happening though. Like you can see magic and stuff.
Not always.
No. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everything Gnarl's told me to do has worked out so far, so just gonna keep doing it.
That makes sense to me.
I don't really understand this game we're playing.
I don't either.
Okay.
I just like the dice. It gives me something to
too.
do with my hands.
And the two of you continue to make awkward conversation and
Thea doesn't feel awkward about it.
roll dice. Anyone listening feels awkward about it. The two of you are the only people that don't feel awkward about it.
Awkward conversation and rolling dice. They're just playing D&D.
Yeah, basically.
They're playing like the inverse of what it would be. So they're playing like, what is it in from Magic Tavern? Offices and Bosses.
Yeah. So you have your good rest and food and recuperate, and you guys get a solid night's sleep. Sun rising the next morning, you're woken up, you hear a lot of commotion outside, people getting ready for the day, some people heading out on bikes, and all of you find outside of your room your gear. You were all given your Stetson, which you may choose whether or not you want to keep, and you are given your sheriff's badge, and they all have your names on them.
Yay.
So again, you can choose whether or not, I guess except for Fang, because you decided you didn't want to be part of the club. The rest of you get your badges and hats. And now we need to update all of the art. I'm so sorry, Julie.
No, just get a JPEG of a cowboy hat and put it on top.
Yeah. Okay. You you have all that. I mean, anything else you guys want to do before you head out to the monastery? Nope. Okay. You all load up in the van, and I'm trying to decide. I guess Liko will go with you for this too. So all of you load up in the truck. Actually, no, wait. I decided. No, we'll make that work. I think we said capacity was 6 in the van, but you guys can double buckle. Or
you could just drag me behind you with the, like, I'll just be in my shell with the rope tied, just dragging me down the road.
You all load up and you head out following the dusty road back north. You reach the point where you found the ambush before, and you drive off the road, parking and disabling your car. You head back down to the shore where the boat is still there. There's no river, no ferry operators. You make your way across the river, and you're at the foothills where you see the path leading up to where you can't see it from this vantage point, but the monastery is at the top. You all wind your way up to the top of the hills, and you can you're about probably a few hundred feet off from the front facade of this monastery. It's a short stone single-story building, very flat facing. It has a few windows out front. They're like broken and kind of covered in dust. There's a small little kind of porch thing leading up to the stone doorway. Everything is sort of the same color, blending in with the environment. And as far as you can tell right now, I mean, it's quiet. And there's nobody outside. What would you like to do?
Do we just knock?
Can I do, like, I'm trying to think of what kind of check it would be if I would know what kind of monastery this is as a monk?
You can make a history check.
That's an 8.
Okay. No, yeah, you're not really sure. You see it. It looks like a lot of other monasteries that you've seen in your life. It's very simple. They don't tend to decorate very well.
Do we knock? Do we tie someone up and be like, hey, look, we brought a sacrifice?
Do we know they sacrifice people?
Either that or they're keeping a large number of people there who have never been seen again.
Are there any windows?
Yes, there are.
I creep up to one of the windows and look in.
Okay. You make a stealth check.
27.
27. So there are windows on the left and the right side of the building. They're a little bit off the ground, probably about like 6 feet or so. So you kind of have to pull yourself up on the windowsill. You going to the left side or the right side?
The right side.
Actually, here's what I can do. I'm going to take you to the
The
map.
correct side.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Which, so you see these up here? All those are windows.
Oh.
And then on the left. So you poke the window you want to look in.
That. Oh,
That
wait, I should show
one.
this.
Hold please.
You probably should share the stream. Yeah.
This
I
one.
think as Thea is doing that, because Shellac is very excited, he's like, "Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see."
I
But you're getting up.
disappear.
You're going up there with her.
No. Like I'm from the back because you don't want to draw too much attention.
Okay. She's probably she's heading off like 50 or 60 feet away from you guys, as you have not approached. You're still hiding, kind of, all of you are kind of pressed up against this rock outcropping. I assume you're not just like out in the open, standing in front of this building. So yeah, Shellac kind of whispers off as you're sneaking away, Thea, and you go up to this room and you hoist yourself up by the ledge, and you look inside, and what you see in here is a large stone room, kind of what you'd expect from the exterior, and you see straw mats covering the floor, and weapon racks along the walls holding quarterstaffs, pole arms, other kind of weapons like that, commonly associated with martial arts. And there are a number, there are 4 individuals in here that are wearing kind of loose-fitting, kind of linen clothing, and they are sparring in this room. And they're kind of, you hear somebody calling out in the center, kind of yelling and like giving commands to them, and there's an older looking woman kind of pacing across the far wall, very like arms crossed, very in a very rigid posture, that is calling out like orders to them that are muffled by the window that you're looking through, but they appear to be training in this dojo.
Cool. I'll go back.
All right, sneak back.
They're fighting in there.
Good fighting or bad fighting?
Yeah, like training. They have a bunch of weapons. There's a scary lady.
I think Shellac is very much like, well, if there are people in there, and it seems like they're also maybe monks as well, let's just knock on the door and see what happens.
Yeah, but like if they have hostages and stuff.
Did you see any?
Well, not in that one room.
Oh, okay.
What if we ask to join and we ask for like the tour and be like, oh,
I can't join any more clubs. I have a tattoo and a badge and a hat. I'm running out of space.
If you get the masks, are you gonna wear the hat?
And I have 2 masks. I'm running out of space here.
I mean, I could, because I'm a monk. I could just go up, and if I'm the only one that goes up there, it may not see it as like be as hostile.
Liko says, "Is it the same kind of monk?"
As Shelly?
I don't know. I don't know much about monks.
I mean, they have like stabs and we're doing punches and stuff.
They weren't shooting out sunbeams like I can.
No.
Okay, so it's
Just
not.
punches.
So they might not be of the order that I'm looking for. They're probably of another order. I'm not sure which, unless I was able to get a closer inspection. But
Order of Sticks. Is that a thing?
I think there's an order where they focus on combat weapons, but
That's this one for
yeah,
sure.
that might be it. But also,
So many weapons in there, like all over the wall.
But also, quarterstaffs are pretty common for monks. But anyway, and I think like Shelly starts to get into like the really nitty gritty, like specific nerdy bullshit of monk stuff, almost to the extent he's about to pull out a book and start like citing things.
That's really cool. So are we gonna talk to them or what?
Are we knocking?
Because I could just like sneak in.
What if we knock?
They're
and
over there
you
fighting.
sneak?
They won't even know.
Is there another door? Don't die.
So
Was there
they're
a door
the-
farther down?
there are the two doors here, and then there's one door on the right side. That was kind of to the right of the window you were looking at.
Yeah, there's another door, but it's right by that room with the fighting.
Based on what you saw inside, it doesn't look like that door goes directly into that room.
But I could go in there.
Actually, I can illuminate that space for you because you have seen it now.
Can anyone else be quiet? I have the one quiet person.
It's better if I go by myself. I start sneaking off.
I'm assuming that means we're knocking to get attention at the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely
do
go up and knock and be as introductory as possible.
You're gonna be great. Do
Yeah. Do you have a disguise you can wear, Dupe?
you want a mask?
And I just kind of like,
back.
I think just to like avoid suspicion, he takes off the hat and the badge and kind of puts it away in his bag, so that way it doesn't look like, the law is coming.
Like, that's good and all, but if the mud dude's in here and he
Well,
sees you, how many turtles are around this place that gets robbed?
If I happen to see the mud sorcerer, I will yell and I will shoot sunbeams out the windows.
Wait, is
the
everybody
signal.
else wearing their hats? Is this just gonna be like 5 cops just walked up to their door?
Nope, left him in the truck.
Okay.
This is why you don't join clubs which are like, wear a hat and a badge so people know the secret organization. It's like, they've probably
But
spotted.
it's cool.
It is
You
cool.
just look like cops. You've got the vibe.
Cowpokes.
Outpokes.
All right, so let me get this straight. So Shellac is walking up to the front doors. Thea, you're sneaking around to the side door.
Yeah.
Everyone else is hanging back.
Does one need to sneak to get here?
Yes.
Shit. Guess I'm staying back. This seems like a terrible. We split the party up 3 ways.
I'm pretty sure it was your idea.
Well,
I
if-
asked we're knocking. I thought we were all walking up and knocking.
I'll yell if something goes wrong.
Me too. Bye.
They're gonna die.
Don't let Liko die.
I
It'll
don't
be
care
fine.
about League.
It'll be
All right.
fine.
Shellac, you go. So Thea goes sneaking off. I won't have you make a stealth check because we're about to wrap up. And Shellac, you're walking straight up to the front door, ascending these stone steps. You go up to these big stone doors, which have these like there's some sort of like latch there, like about eye level, and you just hammer on it 3 times with your big turtle hand.
And I turn around to the group and I just kind of give a thumbs up, like, yeah.
And as you do that, you hear some shuffling on the other side of the door, and that latch at eye level begins to open. But that is where we are going to end our session for tonight, so that we can pick this up next week to explore this monastery. All right, good job, guys. Yay. So we joined a secret cowboy justice organization and made some new friends, kidnapped some people, murdered some amphibians. So we will be back next. How did that happen? We will be back next Saturday, same time, same place, to continue our adventure. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Our next stream after this will be tomorrow. Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. That'll be Slang 101, playing Monster of the Week. Savannah runs it, and we're doing some time travel. You can see our full schedule below our faces if you're watching us live on Twitch. If you're watching us on YouTube, hop over to our Twitch page, and you can see our schedule and whatever we've got going on at the time you are watching this. Follow us on Twitter. Join us on our Discords. We do most of our talking. And of course, follow us here on Twitch if you're not already, because we love having you here. Anything else? Join us on Wednesday for the one shot. We're going to be Savannah's going to be running Goat Crashers, a one-page RPG about goats crashing a party, and it's sure to be a lot of fun. I don't think I have any other announcements. Anything else before we go, guys? Okay. Well, thank you everyone for watching. We will see you next week. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.